Welcome to the Deep Dive. I'm your host. Our mission? Well, it's pretty simple. We take your sources, dive deep into them, pull out the key stuff, and basically give you a shortcut to being well-informed. Plus, hopefully, we uncover some surprising facts, maybe even have a little fun. Today, we're jumping into something really fascinating. It's this radical idea that your own consciousness, your mind, might actually have the power to heal your body. Seriously, think about this question. What if everything that happens in your body begins with something happening in your own consciousness? It's a big one.
It really is, and that's exactly the perspective shift we're exploring today. We're diving into a YouTube transcript, actually. It's from a channel called Your Inner Guide. The specific video is titled, Use Your Mind to Heal Your Body, Here's How. And this source, it doesn't just sort of nudge conventional thinking.
Yeah.
It pretty fundamentally challenges it. It offers this really profound, empowering view on self-healing. It's asking us to, well, maybe reevaluate how we see health altogether.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Let's get right into the core idea. The source makes this really bold claim that the mind's influence isn't just, a factor. It's presented as almost absolute. Like your consciousness can create or even dissolve any physical condition. Everything, it says, starts in consciousness. It even calls consciousness life energy-like, the actual animating force that sustains life in us. Without it, the body's just inert.
And what's really interesting is how it positions the body relative to that life energy. It's described as a vehicle for the consciousness that animates it. Then it goes a step further. The body's also called an extension, a denser aspect of consciousness.
Ah,
So you could maybe think of it like if consciousness is light, the body is like a solidified, denser form of that same light, that same energy. Then because they're fundamentally connected like that, the body naturally reflects the conditions of the consciousness that it houses. It's not separate. It's a mirror.
huh. So it's not just mind and body, but more like one integrated system, an energy system consisting of different densities of energy operating at different frequencies. That's the language used. And this is where it gets really perspective shifting, I think. The source states, we are each a spirit occupying a physical body. Now, that sounds maybe a bit philosophical, but it's crucial to the argument because it puts us, the spirit, the consciousness, in the driver's seat. It implies we are the ones choosing our thoughts, feelings, perceptions, and that those choices actively create our reality, including our physical health. That suggests, well, a lot of personal power, right?
It absolutely does. And that naturally leads to the next point. If this system is meant to be balanced, what throws it off? The source is very direct here. It claims all disease originates from the mind. Quite a statement. It explains that when there's a sufficient change in the consciousness caused by a decision or maybe a reaction that creates tension, the body tries to adapt. It tries to come into balance with it. And that's when the symptom appears. It shows up physically as tension in the body, directly mirroring the tension already present in the consciousness. It's like an echo.
Wow. All disease originates from the mind.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a powerful claim. I imagine for some people that might feel a bit dismissive of, real physical issues.
Right, and the source does acknowledge physical causes, like viruses or injuries, but it suggests these are often a result of the internal state of consciousness. So, okay, maybe a virus is the trigger, but this view implies our susceptibility to it, or how badly it affects us, might connect back to our underlying inner state.
Okay, I see.
And it warns against relying only on external fixes pills, treatments, without tackling the underlying psychological tensions. It suggests that can foster a victim mindset.
A victim mindset, meaning feeling powerless, like things just happen to us.
Exactly. Instead of recognizing our potential role in, well, creating our experience.
Okay, so the basic idea is that if an individual blocks the flow of this energy, this life energy, through their choices or reactions, and that blockage gets strong enough, the effect is some symptom on the physical level.
It's presented not as blame, but as a kind of cause and effect within this energy system.
So the symptom isn't the enemy then, it's more like a message.
Precisely. It's communication from your body telling you something about your internal state, about where energy isn't flowing right. It's basically saying, hey, pay attention here.
Okay, so if symptoms are messages, then healing must be about listening to them, right? And rebalancing things.
That's exactly it. The source defines healing as a return to your natural state of balance and wholeness. And the first step is acknowledging that everything begins within their own consciousness. And crucially, taking responsibility. Not blame, remember, but responsibility for what we choose to put or allow yourself to accept into your consciousness. It's about reclaiming that power.
Reclaiming power. I like that framing. It's not a burden, then.
Not according to this source. It's framed as activating our innate tools, our unlimited natural abilities for healing things we always had.
Mm.
And the number one tool mentioned, intuition. It speaks a really simple language. Either it feels good or not good. Simple as that.
That's good or not good?
Yeah. And the source claims that following that feeling, following your intuition, always leads to success. It's presented as our core inner guidance system for maintaining that balance.
Okay, but what if we don't listen? What if we push past that not good feeling? Happens all the time, right?
It does. And the source says that's when you start feeling unhappiness and tension. Keep going against that grain, and you'll find more resistance in your emotions. Things might not work out the way you want.
Makes sense.
And if you still ignore it, that internal tension can eventually bubble up and manifest as physical symptoms or attract negative experiences.
So symptoms are like a louder alarm bell, a message from our higher self, as the source puts it, that we might have missed when it was just a gut feeling or an emotion.
Exactly, like the volume got turned up because the quieter message wasn't heard.
Which leads to this other really interesting idea. If symptoms are messages, are they kind of intentional?
That's a fascinating way to put it. The source says the end result that happened was the original intention, and there are no accidents or coincidences.
Whoa, okay, no accident.
Yeah, it's a big statement.
Yeah.
It implies that since everything starts in our consciousness, then everything that happens in the physical world is a reflection of what is happening in our consciousness. So a symptom appearing isn't random. It's because that specific message needed to be delivered for whatever reason. Understanding that helps us see the way of being that led to it. And then, importantly, it frees us from guilt. We can just see it, understand the message, and choose a different way forward, make a new choice.
That's quite a reframing of illness and struggle. Okay, pausing here for a second. If these ideas are hitting home for you, if you're finding this exploration valuable, and you want to keep diving into fascinating topics like this, please do hit that subscribe button. It really helps us continue bringing these deep dives straight to you. All right, let's ground this a bit. The source shares a really powerful personal story.
Oh yeah, it's quite compelling.
The speaker talks about having this severe neurological condition, half their body paralyzed, couldn't walk, terrible headaches, just completely trapped, they said. And the root cause, as they came to understand it, not living authentically, just constantly trying to please others, meet expectations, leading to being stressed and anxious all the time and realizing they totally neglected their creativity and happiness. It sounds like a deep internal shutdown.
And the realization they had was incredibly direct. They understood I was the one who was paralyzing myself.
Wow.
It wasn't just physical paralysis. They saw they were holding myself back from moving forward in life, consciously staying in situations that made me unhappy. The physical state was this stark, literal mirror of the internal energetic blockage, a huge wake-up call from their own body.
So what did they do? How did they heal from something so severe?
Well, they made a really conscious shift in their mental diet, basically controlling what thoughts and ideas they allowed in.
Mental diet.
Yeah. They recognized stressful thoughts were feeding the illness, so they actively chose to think thoughts that made me feel good. It wasn't just positive thinking. They owned up to my situation.
Yeah.
They realized happiness was essential and started pursuing joy, doing things they loved instead of things they felt they should do. It involved a lot of inner work, trusting the healing was happening.
And the outcome.
They stated very clearly, the condition was cured, I was healed. Just like that. A direct result, they claim, of applying these principles.
That's an incredible story. And the source presents this not as some miracle, but as proof that
Like anything.
anything is healable.
Pretty much. The source states anything can be healed. It says it's not a question of whether or not it can happen, but rather just one of knowing how to do it.
Knowing how. So it offers actual techniques.
It does. It mentions things like sound healing, Reiki healing, meditation, nature immersion, and yoga as ways to restore your energetic body and heal yourself. These practices are said to activate your chakras, those energy centers in the body, and release any blocked or stagnant energy or emotions. They're tools for that energetic rebalancing we talked about.
Right, chakras. Tools to get the energy flowing again.
Exactly.
Now, it's probably good to add a note of, let's say, realism here. The source does suggest that reaching a state of perfection and optimal functioning is rare.
True. Very few manage that fully, it says.
But the encouraging part is that this optimal state is supposedly always accessible to you right now, in this moment. So if a symptom pops up again, the advice is to be kind to yourself. Don't see it as failure, but just a reminder that you need to change something in your consciousness again, like a gentle course correction.
Yeah, it's presented as a continuous feedback loop, a learning process, not a pass-fail test. Be compassionate with yourself.
And ultimately, it comes back to choice, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The source puts it starkly. You can decide to let someone else heal you or to heal yourself. The main takeaway is empowerment. The goal is to do whatever is required to free yourself from the symptom and return to your natural state of being happy and healthy.
Mhm.
It's about actively reclaiming that state.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, we've really explored a different way of looking at health, haven't we? This profound link between consciousness and the physical body. The idea that everything starts inside us, that symptoms are actually messages, not just malfunctions, and that taking responsibility for our inner world, our thoughts, feelings, choices, is where true healing power lies. It's quite a shift.
It really is. It moves us away from feeling like passive recipients of illness towards being active creators of our well-being. It's a very empowering perspective, even if it challenges conventional views. So maybe a final thought for you listening right now. If your body is communicating through sensations, through symptoms, what messages might it be trying to send you? What subtle, or maybe not so subtle, shifts in your own consciousness might those messages be inviting you to consider? Something to ponder.
Definitely something to ponder. Well, this has been another deep dive. If you enjoyed digging into these ideas with us today, please remember to subscribe to the deep dive. That way, you won't miss our next exploration. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.